Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty. You suck. You suck. You suck.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Iain Bruce
and Marcus Hurley.
I was fortunate enough to be able to spend a couple of hours with Shadow of War, or Middle-earth Shadow of War, which is the sequel to Shadow of Mordor, which I think was my game of the year it came out, whenever that was, a couple of years back. I think we did an entire podcast just about that with Adam, friend of the show. And yeah, I think Patrick was around for that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one seems like very much more of the same, and they really don't hang around sort of smashing you around the head with a lot of its systems. I found it quite sort of, I'm in a massive open world with a map full of things where I must go. But then eventually that kind of calmed down. I think the thing about it is that you're taken out of one area and then placed into a whole other area that is basically just a big fuck-off battle that's happening in Gondor. And you're kind of like, where do I go? What's going on? I'm being led around, fighting loads of orcs. And then you're kind of then told you need to go to the other area. And so I just kind of felt a bit lost. Although I think as because I pre-ordered it, literally because the reviews were good. Yeah, I know, it's shocking. I only pre-ordered it like a week before, to be fair. But basically, I was like, I think I got a little code that gave me like a much better sword than you start off with. So when I did accidentally end up in some areas fighting like a level 15 boss orc, I was able to fucking kill the bastard. Not easily, but I could hold my own. I'd played the first game. I've been playing a lot of Witcher, similar kind of combat in that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying it so far. I've only played 2 hours. Looking forward to playing more. I've heard the ending is a little bit grindy, but yeah, it's so far so good. It looks lovely on the PS4. I bought it on PS4 this time. I thought controller game. Apparently, the PC version of this game is 100 gig.
Wow.
So
the fuck?
yeah. Yeah, because it comes with all the 4K textures and uncompressed audio, so they've just gone for it. They did similar thing last time around, but I think that only weighed in at about 40 back then. But yeah, they're doing the same with this, and yeah, so 100 gigs. So I'm kind of glad because my SSD is barely that, and I'd have to clear everything else off it. So yeah, the only thing I've noticed graphically that's a little bit disappointing on the PS4 is when you're in a cutscene or when you're in an in-engine bit in the middle of a level, because like the facial detail is all stripped out pretty much when you're sort of in a kind of in-between action part. But yeah,
like
I mean
in-game cutscenes, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But it's fairly seamless. There's no real loading in it at all. Obviously, don't really have to deal with that these days. But the traversal on it is almost comical, to be honest. Yeah, you can run, and then you can click in the button as well to get a burst of speed where you are literally running like the clappers, like you've just put a nitro up your pants or something. And then when you hit a wall, like a straight wall that looks like a wall that you cannot pass, oh no, you just press X and you leap up it, and if you time it right, you literally fly up the wall. It's pretty crazy, almost comical, really, but it kind of gets you in and out of the action fairly fast, so there is that to it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, second time around doesn't quite have the edge or the surprise factor that the first one did, but there's plenty of stuff to do. The gameplay seems like there's plenty of variety. The story isn't in the same league as The Witcher, obviously. Yeah, it doesn't benefit from The Witcher 3 being a thing since the first one either. So things have moved along somewhat, and so yeah, it seems like a solid another instalment in that series, and I'm glad I've picked this one because there's a lot coming out at the moment, and yeah, I was almost tempted to get Wolfenstein in a couple of weeks, but I've heard that's coming to Switch, and I'm starting to weaken as far as the Switch goes. But on the subject of Nintendo, we should probably go across to Marcus, who I believe has been investing in some Nintendo hardware.
Yeah, I've gone backwards in time again, much like my TV watching of Sons of Anarchy and all that sort of stuff a little while back. I've bought a Wii U. Second hand.
Nice. Cool. Okay.
The Zelda edition one. So it's got the Zelda sort of glyph around the handheld controller part.
Yep.
I picked one up in
Is this from Breath of the Wild?
No. I haven't got a copy of it yet, but just the console. Just the Zelda.
Okay.
It's second hand. You can't get new ones now because they don't make them anymore. But I got a good price for it, and I picked up a copy of Mario Kart 8. Turns out there was one pre-installed. So I took back my copy of Mario Kart 8 and kept it. So for the price that I thought was great to begin with, I now have a free copy of Mario Kart 8 with it. So It got even better. So me and the missus have been just playing that. I mean, we've just become properly addicted to it. We were doing quite a few games just this evening, sort of sitting there with pizza and Mario Kart. I've got to say, I've played a few of them over the various systems, and Mario Kart 8 is possibly one of the best versions because it has a lot of the classic tracks from the SNES and everything else, but they're sort of reimagined and the graphics are all updated. So it actually tells you where each of the tracks from. So it would say Rainbow Road from like the SNES version, or or from the N64 one, or Donut Plains and everything else. And it's also got some of the newer elements like the cars and carts turning into hoverboards. So some of the tracks are almost horizontal, going vertical, spinning upside down. You don't notice it when you're actually playing it, but after a couple of times around, you kind of go, "My God, I'm actually upside. You're on the track below me," because they split in some of them, and it's so much fun and frustrating as hell. It has that old school Nintendo difficulty where the other karters, when you go up on the different classes, just become utter cunts. Just like the amount of times I was screaming, "Bowser, you fucking spiky bastard, I'm going to ram this red shell right up your goddamn fucking ass." I just think, as multiplayer goes, I thought Nintendo had lost their mind, but with the Wii U. But my God, Mario Kart 8, they still have some semblance of sanity. They know about multiplayer games and just the old school couch co-op. I mean, I was very much a big Sony fan before. I mean, I've got an Xbox now, but that's because, I mentioned in the previous podcast, I was very mercenary with this generation consoles. But I really wrote them off to the point where I got bored and wanted to play two-player couch co-op games, which I mentioned a few times. Just this one game on the system has just brought so much joy. The fact that I've been playing a game most days for the last sort of week has said it all.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for more. I'm going to get Breath of the Wild, and I'll let you know what that's like. And I'm just going to start building up a little back catalogue. Definitely want to get Bayonetta 2 for it. It's the only system it comes out on, but that game's amazing.
Is that on Wii U?
It's only on Wii U.
I thought it was. I thought that was ages ago.
Well, it is. It was a while ago. It was about a year ago.
I suppose Wii U came out a while back, didn't it?
Well, Wii U's dead now. It's not, the manufacturing process has stopped. It's now an archaic console, slowly dying.
Obsolete.
Well, it died when it came out, to be honest. But I think it's
going. It doesn't hurt to be behind the curve a little. You
I think it's going to be one of those consoles which gets a retrospective. A lot of people are going to realise that there's a lot of fun games on there that came out, and they're great for various ages. There might be kiddies games, but you get a couple of mates around, a couple of beers, and you'll have a laugh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like GoldenEye. it's that feeling, 4-player split screen, decent sized screen. You'll just have a laugh. It's just fun. Old school gaming fun.
So, the way you play this, do you have like extra controllers? Does
I've
one
got
of you
I've
use
got the Pro
screen?
controller as well. I've got you get the main handheld one, and I've also got a Pro controller, which looks like a normal gamepad. Hang on a sec.
So, okay.
I hope he's gone to get it and he isn't fixing. Okay, yeah.
Yep, no. Cool. So,
Oh, nice,
So-
okay. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so
it
it's
does
just
look
like an
it,
Xbox
yeah.
controller.
Except the buttons are on the wrong side. Or your screen's
works really
flipped.
well as well. Feels
I
really
think the
nice.
screen is mirrored.
Yeah, okay.
The D-pad feels really nice as well. I'm looking forward to sort of getting a couple of games like the Smash Brothers as well, and all those sort of old ones, and just sort of having a laugh and just building up a little back catalogue, and it'll be another console to join the others.
Cool.
Eventually,
Yeah.
I'll get the wall of consoles, and then it'll just be, everything will be rigged up to the TV, get a new TV, and then it'll just be heaven.
So when you and Suze play multiplayer,
Yeah.
are you both playing on the telly?
Yeah,
or
we're
is
both
one
on
of
the
you
couch.
playing
She
on the
literally
Wii?
sits here, and we're both playing.
So what's on the screen then when she's playing?
Split
Is there
screen.
anything on the
it's
screen?
split vertically. So you imagine most screens are widescreen.
Oh, on the
now.
Wii U, on the Wii U screen.
No,
on the
it's
tablet.
all on the TV.
So there's nothing on the tablet.
On the tablet, it's just like a little thing with a great big like horn in the middle or whatever, and you've got like a little icons. I don't even look at what's down there. It's just an oversized controller when I'm playing Mario Kart.
See, the thing that interests me about the Wii U is that it had like a lot of weird functionality. Like there was a
Yes.
zombie game
Yeah.
where you had like your inventory in there and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm quite interested in like how they use that bloody weird
I
tablet
think a lot
thing,
of the Batman games had the solving elements were all
Oh yeah, you
on
could
the
do it
screen.
over the screen and stuff. Yeah,
it's all about that
See,
sort of thing. So I'm intrigued by stuff like that. But I think it's going to become I do think it's going to be one of those machines where its time is not going to be during its own lifetime, but after it supposedly died. And then people are going to pick it up, and then it's going to just because the prices for them are going nuts now. I mean, people are selling new boxed ones that they've bought and kept, and they're like £400.
I think it's going to be like the Dreamcast, where like that was a system that people didn't really appreciate until years later, and now dearly wish it would come back, or some of the ideas behind it. It's going to be a weird curio, and I think to be honest, you're quite wise to snap one up because I reckon they're going to be really hard to get hold of soon.
Yeah.
They really are now. They're starting to now. Put it this way, I lost so many eBay bids on this, and the one we found was a good £70 less than any eBay bid, and a couple of £100 less than any buy it now.
Jesus.
So it's already going mental. It might plateau and start to dip off again, but then it might spike, and I just can't take a chance. I don't want to wait 20 years before I get one. I popped in the I popped in a certain branded computer exchanging shop, shall we say, and they had a Dreamcast that was £60.
Bloody hell.
Dreamcast was £60.
Wow.
So there's something. The retro value will keep these things floated, so I'm just not taking a risk. So I just thought I'll get it. Luckily, I got a new job as well. So
which is great news.
Thanks.
Okay, Iain, you actually bought an Oculus Rift. I don't think we've actually got round to mentioning this on here.
Yeah.
With the touch and everything.
Ooh,
So
nice.
did you take advantage of the summer price cut that's
I
now
did.
actually a permanent
That
price cut?
has become more permanent in the last few days, yes.
Yes.
Or 3 weeks ago, whenever this is released. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Obviously, I work with the virtual reality stuff during the day. I've not had one at home. I had a DK2, which was one of the development kits for the Oculus Rift a couple of years ago. But I really wanted to get one just because I don't have one at home. And because I like VR. And I'm really enjoying it. It is supremely polished. The setup process and downloading stuff was even the box was just beautiful. The way stuff was laid out.
Yeah.
It's just, I wonder it's all there.
I suppose it's all
the
in one big box now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I got mine in two halves because I was impatient. Well, and I didn't have any kind of headset, so I
it's all right.
jumped in early, didn't I?
And I haven't played it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. There's a game coming out today, or came out earlier in the week, called Arctica, which is by the guys who made Metro and Last Light.
Yep, I've heard.
And
I'm aware of it.
It looks really good, but I'm going to wait till the weekend so I can play it for hours and enjoy that. However, I want to just briefly touch on a couple of games. There's one called Pavlov VR, which a friend of the show, Patrick, has been raving about, and he's got a channel on Twitch, and sometimes he streams it himself playing it. It's Counter-Strike in VR, basically.
Okay.
And that's an okay game. I've had some good fun in Counter-Strike over the years. I haven't played it for a long time, and it's all become a bit elite and pro and stuff, and that's all right. But it's basically the same type of gameplay. You've got to plant a bomb or defuse a bomb or that kind of thing, or just team deathmatch. But the thing that makes it work with VR is the guns. So normally you have a gun pointing out straight in front of you, and you move around and stuff, and it will do things and bits.
Wow!
But with the controllers, you're not going to see this, listener, but with the controllers, this is your trigger, and this is the front grip of the gun, and now you can do all of this. And so you can lean forward. You can be standing in like a well in a corridor, and you can lean forward and shoot down the corridor. The other thing is the reloading mechanism. You don't just press R and you automatically pull it all out. You have to hold the gun, pull the clip out, get a new one from your side, put it back in, and then ratchet the thing back on the other side.
Oh my god!
Hell! Oh my!
You actually have to reload.
Yeah, if you've got a shotgun, you have to pump it to get a new one in, get it through all of this stuff. It's just, it's fucking amazing, and the guns are beautifully rendered. The M16 has this, the thing on the back. The Kalashnikov has the thing on the side. It's just, fucking hell, it's awesome. And as a gentleman who has enjoyed the odd cake and pie in his life, there were certainly some moments of, I should probably remind myself this is a younger man's game. But after a period of shortness of breath and all of that, I'm finding it really good fun. It's good to get adrenaline going in a non-gym environment. Not that people who go to the gym shouldn't, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. The other one is a game similar to Pavlov called Onward, which is more of a mill sim type thing. It's extremely merciless with kills and stuff, but it's the same kind of premise, except you're in a bigger area, like an armor type game, and the bots just have no mercy at all. But you can play with people as well. There are other games. There aren't just shooters on there. There's some even Google Earth VR. Fucking hell! What an amazing piece of tech. I can see my house. I can see your house. I can see my wife's house in another country, or my wife's family's house. It's really, really beautiful, and you can fly around places that you're never going to go to. That you've. I found there's a TV show called Tin Star with Tim Roth. And that's filmed in the Canadian Rockies, I think, or part of that mountain range. And I'm never going to know there, but some of the filming places look fucking beautiful. And so I found out where it was filmed, put it in Google Earth, and it's just, wow, this is beautiful. Also, why are there no houses for like 500 miles? Sweet Jesus. And yeah, stuff like that. The interface, the lobby is very nice. Downloading games is good. It works with games on Steam as well. Pavlov is primarily Vive, but it works with the Rift. I
played Adrift on Steam.
Yeah,
which was a bit of a suffocating experience, but was fine once I realised a certain UI thing that I'd forgotten about because I didn't need it for the whole game, apart from that one bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The only other thing that I just want to just briefly say is, so the Rift comes with two sensors, which are like cameras on a stick, which track your position, and they'll work in a reasonably sized space, but they need to ideally be pointing at you, so you can move around your hands and stuff, but always be looking at the cameras. Or you can do what I have, so I have my cameras like this, where my head is here, so it's like there's one in front pointing directly at me, and then one off to the side, pointing to the side, and that lets me get more movement round with the controllers when I'm trying to turn around and shoot stuff. But you can buy a separate sensor which gives you a 3 sensor setup. So now I don't have any little glitchy, juddery bits because it's very easy to forget which direction is forward or which direction you started as forward when you're turning around trying to shoot stuff. But with a camera, I've got one set up directly behind me, so I've got one in front, one to the side, one behind. Now I can turn around and it's seamless. It's like the Vive.
Cool.
And that was all. It's all just amazing. It is so consumer friendly to just plug it all in. Yeah, I'm really happy I got it.
Cool.
And I will come back to you in the next episode of Gamey Talk about how Arctica is.
Nice.
I do hope it's not shit.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, basically, because since I got the touch controllers, I've really been unable to use my Rift because I just don't have space. I got fucked off with smashing it into things.
Yeah.
So I packed it all up, and then my friend Bob over the road, he said, "Could I borrow it? Because I'm thinking of buying one." And I went, "Yeah, no worries." So he came over, picked it up, and then he's lent it to his brother Trev, which is fine. He asked me first. He only lives around the corner as well,
right.
But now his son has been playing with it and stuff, and that's totally fine. I don't mind as long as they wipe all their jammy marmalade off it before I get it back. Yeah, but no, I'm looking forward when I've assembled the Batcave. Hopefully this year. Still boring. Not getting into that. It's not the not moving out podcast.
Not home-only podcast. Yeah.
No. If the Batcave does happen this year, the room I'm looking at is like a bedroom. I'm going to have a bedroom / office type arrangement, and I'm going to have like at least 3 by 3 meters to play in. So yeah, very excited about getting on board with that, and I will buy the extra motion camera sensor thing tracker.
Yeah, I think they're 80 quid at the moment. So I mean, it's not depending on. It's not necessarily cheap, but
no,
it does.
Wow, that feels like a punch in the stomach after them dropping the price as well. I paid like I've spent about 700 quid on mine so far. I just can't fucking use it at the moment.
I think by the time I got my other sensor, that prices had gone back up, so it might be cheaper now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's entry level. It's early adopter stuff, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm still itching because I had a quick go on the Oculus when I brought it to the old office, and it's left an impression with me. I definitely need one in my life at some point. I still,
Well, there's some new ones coming out later this year and early next year. So it's
okay. Yeah, they're bringing out a kind of self-contained Oculus headset.
Oh, are they?
Where you don't even need a phone. It's called the Oculus. I forget the name of it, but it's a new Oculus Go. That's it.
Wow.
And it's going to be 200 quid, and we don't know what the power of it is, but you don't have to put your phone in it. It's
a self-contained unit.
It's its own.
Okay.
It is. So,
that's intriguing as an entry level, but yeah.
And there's no wires, but I don't think you can walk everywhere with it. But the idea is that you don't. It's mobile VR and
but is it a Gear VR without a phone, or is it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or is it a Rift? I mean, that's the.
I don't think you're going to be playing like Arctica on it.
I think it's like the next level Gear VR without the phone.
And that's good.
I think it's an in between, not an in between, nowhere near an in between.
As long as it's
probably a stepped up Gear VR.
As long as it's not just going to do fucking 360 movies, or maybe it just is. So
I wonder if it will be compatible with the controllers.
Yeah, I mean,
because if they're writing the what's it called, software now, and if it's coming out, the controllers already exist. So
it has its own controller.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
but what tracking does it have? It doesn't. It doesn't seem to have any tracking sensors.
I don't think it does. It's a Gear VR.
I would suggest, and this isn't a VR thing, but I would suggest if you get an opportunity to try one of the new Microsoft headsets, because they have controllers very similar to this, but they're more of a stick with the bit at the top, and they look really cool. I think the one we've got at work looks really cool, but they have no tracking, they have no sensors, so
it's inside out tracking, isn't it?
They know where you are in the room based on figuring it out for itself. So you don't need to set stuff up for it. You can just take it anywhere and let's do this, and it's just all set up and ready to go. The other ones can be a bit of a chore to set stuff up. I have to mark out where my desk is so I don't walk into it and things. But this one, you walk into your desk, but you can still mark out the space. It's just much easier to do because there's no extra hardware.
Okay, I might have to look into that. Yeah, cool.
And the price is cheap. It's a little bit cheaper as well.
Have you done the fan thing?
The what?
I've heard the fan thing is good, not just as a way of cooling down under that helmet, but also like gives you an idea of like where you are in the room.
That was the first thing that I thought of. Oh, is that a thing that other people do? Because I have like 12 fans here.
Kanata said that's how he does it.
So I'm going to set one up, and
Patrick's always recommended it as well.
I'm going to set one up and have it blown at my face, so I know that's where forward is. I think that's the plan.
It's just like compass bearing, you know.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad idea. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Cool. That's good. I'm glad you're having fun with that. I look forward to jumping in again soon. I've played a few other bits and pieces. I'll just very quickly skim over these. The Order 1886 is like a steampunk versus vampires and werewolves thing. Great idea. Not a very good game. Felt like I was controlling a tank around all the time, and some clambering around, very prescribed box ticking cover shooter. Should have been an anime or something instead, in my opinion. Little Nightmares, kind of sort of a little bit like Inside. You're like a little dude, a freakishly looking dude in a yellow anorak going around this ship with these big fat people that are like want to carve you up with a chopping knife. It's a little bit Cthulhu towards the end, but yeah, not bad, but a little bit of a sort of trial and error platformer. I borrowed it from work. It lasted about 3 hours. It was not a bad game. And finally, I cracked into the Witcher 3 DLC, Hearts of Stone. I bought it a couple of months ago for like £5 or something. They had it on sale, and it's the Witcher 3 again, which is amazing. And they've done some really interesting stuff with the narrative this time. It starts off with you killing a giant frog who happened to be a prince. So again, subverting the older the folklore tales and stuff, and then that kind of then spirals into this excellent bit of narrative where you actually are possessed. And so that's excellent because you're doing the dialogue of the person that has possessed you, and he keeps popping in and out of your body and stuff. And I won't say any more, but I've probably said too much already. But that's really got me into it. So yeah, I'm about halfway through. No, probably not even halfway through. But the other side of it is that's the thing is you have the main quest kind of splits into two. That's one of them. And then that's going on while the other bit is going on, which is you doing a heist, and you have to go and recruit your team. And I don't know how it works out, but you've been given all these options of who you can have on your team, and it's up to you to go and recruit them. So I haven't got to this yet, but I'm wondering if the possession stuff is going to interact with the recruiting stuff, and it's all going to like marry up. Knowing the Witcher's reputation, it probably will. So I'm really intrigued as to how it pans out. But yeah, apparently this is 10 hours. Did a brilliant job of absolutely rinsing my inventory as soon as I started it, because I left the game, parked it at like level 30 something, and had like loads of swords and inventory and money and everything. And they bring in this new thing called rune crafting, and to basically start that, you need 5,000 gold. So literally all my money's gone immediately. But it gives you another little way of tinkering with your character loadout and stuff. And yeah, just fucking joy of a game. It's my favourite game of all time, and I was holding off to play this as long as I could, but I was off sick the other week, and I was just like, I just want to play something amazing.
It's healing.
And, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to, mainline something decent, and doesn't get any better in my opinion. So
Cool.
Awesome.
yeah, cool.
I've just got a quick note. I might have mentioned in a previous podcast that I've pre-ordered Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
There was a beta on, actually, over the weekend.
Yep.
Did you try it?
I got to try a tiny bit of it. Unfortunately,
too,
there were
actually.
some issues in which I couldn't get onto it because EA had somehow fucked up the Xbox One version, and a lot of people couldn't get past the
Bastards.
acceptance screen. There was a bug.
I had this issue with the Origin thing the other week when we were playing the first Battlefront, so I feel your pain.
Yeah, so I got to get on there and I briefly had a game. My God, I'm keeping my pre-order. It looks amazing. It just looks so much fun.
Definitely looks amazing.
I know, but I want to play through the campaign. I love the idea of the story that follows on from Return of the Jedi. I've seen a little intro into it as well because they give you a little snippet of the first part, and it's all about I don't know, for lack of a better term, it starts off about it's following on from the Emperor's Last Order.
Yeah, you're playing like Imperial, aren't you?
Yeah,
Or,
it looks like not a shock trooper. You're someone, aren't you? Sort of like the daughter of a Imperial Star Destroyer captain. And it gave me chills. Facial animation was okay. It was all right, pretty good. But yeah, I think it might be because Star Wars is coming up, and it's that feeling I need to start. The Star Wars hype train is built within me, you know.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting here now, my veins are like going, I need more Star Wars.
That would be the midichlorians, probably.
Oh God, no, they don't exist. Is that a type of cheese?
No!
No!
He's fallen to the dark side of the
Can't be.
fandom.
It's impossible.
Prequel names. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks like it might be a bit of fun, and I'm going to keep it, and I'll let you know how it turns out on, was it November the 17th, I think it comes out.
Okay, cool.
Which is a little way off from now, but it might be before our next
No, it's next week.
couple of... Yeah, it could be. But it could be next week, month, year, decade, solstice,
depending
solar
on...
encounter. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this is someone who doesn't really seem to get and play a lot of games lately, and I seem to be finding my gamer spirit again, and I'm loving it.
Join
it's
us.
like being 21 again. It's like being 21 again.
Oh,
it feels
yeah,
great.
it is. It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, I'm interested to find out what the single player campaign is like.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it's going to be the longest, but not that I've got a problem with that. I
No.
do, however, have a problem with coughing up like 40 quid or something to play a 4-hour game.
Yeah,
so,
true.
I don't know.
But yeah, if you don't play the multiplayer, it's going to be a problem, definitely.
That is right, yeah. So, I mean, it's something I might get to eventually, but or if there's like a discount or something, it might drop to a level that I can justify. But because I don't know how much I don't know how much I'd get out of the multiplayer. I've quite enjoyed playing the first one recently with Iain and a couple of other guys.
Yeah.
I find if you've got like a couple of mates in those big squads, it can still be a laugh because you're sort of in amongst it, and I do appreciate that. But yeah, no, I look forward to
honest,
hearing what you think of it.
Part of my reason for looking to purchase it was I enjoyed the original Battlefront 2 on the PS2, Battlefront and Battlefront 2, and to be honest, me and my brother back when we used to live with Mum had the most amount of fun just facing off against each other. One of us would run across, pick out and at that, and then come back and try and take the other person out. I know that's what the missus will do. She will find the biggest thing on the map and come around and try and kill me with it. So I'm already thinking it's basically I'm trying to relive old school gaming days, which this game is another one that seems to allow. I don't really care too much about online plebs. You know, I'll play with them a little bit, you know. But
is your brother getting it?
I just want to see what the he might do, but he hasn't got an Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And it's not crossplay because it's EA. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They'll get money off us minions anyway. But
it's not them. It's Sony.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently, Microsoft are fine with it, but because there was a game recently where they accidentally enabled the crossplay, and it's because they forgot to tick a box that said no.
Well, it's like Rocket League. I think
Sony jumped right down their throats with that.
Yeah, well, it's like Rocket League. Technically, could be the world's first truly cross-play game, because if you've got a PlayStation 2 version, I think it's on PlayStation 2 as well. Oh, PlayStation 4. Sorry. I think it's on PlayStation 4. But anyway, I think that's one where it's on PC, on Xbox, and I think it's on PS4. And I think the PS4 one and the PC one are compatible, and the Xbox and PC one are compatible, but it just doesn't bridge the gap.
Yeah, you can't do console.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I need to get a decent PC so I can play you guys at some decent cheap games and have a laugh.
Yeah.
Next year.
You're always welcome. Well, especially with your now you're on the megabucks.
New job.
We'll see.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Soon there shall be a fully operational battle PC.
I think I'm probably going to end up hitting the Black Friday for my my new telly. So it's dragged on so long.
Well, I'm tempted to get a new motherboard and rebuild it, literally.
I would do it yourself if you can, because you'll get a better PC for it.
I'm tempted to go with motherboard, possibly rechip the i7 I've got. It's an older one, but it'll still do the business.
To be honest, if you're getting a new motherboard, you have to kind of buy new RAM and everything and a new processor. So
true.
Might as
well do that. Yeah.
As soon as every time I've gone, I need a new motherboard, it's like, and then you need to get a new chip to go on it, and it's just reseating the old one. Fuck that.
Fuck it.
Yeah. And on that bombshell,
fuck it.
I think that's time to fuck this off.
Fuck it right off.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, it's been emotional.
It's been moist.
Moist like a tiger.
This has been the Not Playing podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself, Marcus and Iain talk about movies and TV on the Not Watching podcast, and Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening podcast. You can email us at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet out or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
With no booty. My friend, I'm inclined to agree, 'cause I suck. I suck at Call of Duty.